How are you? Seated.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
We're so happy to have this time with Kenchen Rinpoche here with us, very special. And so just a reminder for those here, it's maybe a good time we can make sure our phone is turned off, or vibrate, or however best to do that. And then for those who are in Zoom, we posted the links for the text this morning, the Bodhicitta, from the chapter 11 of the Jewel Ornament. And there's some other notes there, so those are in the Zoom. So you can view or download as you'd like. And we will go ahead and share the beginning prayers in the volume 1 book. We'll share in Zoom. We'll start with the motivation prayers, setting our mind. So we'll start on page 6. And for those in Spanish channel, Fanny will read the Spanish material. And we'll do twice in Tibetan and once in English or Spanish, where the text is 3 times. So page 6, Aspiration Bodhicitta. instructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and all-knowingness. May they experience happiness and be separated from suffering. I will quickly establish them in the state of the most perfect and precious Buddhahood. Thus, until I achieve enlightenment, I perform virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. Until death, I perform virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. From now until this time tomorrow, I perform virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. To the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, I go for refuge till enlightened. May I, through virtues such as giving, attain Buddhahood for others' sake. May all other sentient beings, boundless as the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separated from the happiness which is freed from sorrow. May they abide in the state of equanimity, freed from the closeness and distance of attachment and aversion. My homage, offerings, confessing, rejoicing, requesting, beseeching, even the small merit I have gathered, I dedicate all of this to attain complete enlightenment. Here on page 10, the mandala.
Good morning, everybody. Very good to see you all. It is heavy rain, and you made it here. That's good. So thank you for coming. Now cultivate our mind, as we said the opening prayers. So we do these things for ourselves and for others. To free from samsara, as you know, and to achieve complete enlightenment, not just some peace and happiness this life or today, tomorrow, but to totally to free from entire samsara, and then to cross the boundary of the samsara or the borderline of the samsara, cross that and go other side, the enlightenment, the other shore. Because as you know, as long as we're in the samsara, so we're under the vicious cycle of the suffering. There's no one day say I'm free from all the suffering within the samsara. So this just keep in mind. And we're so fortunate that Buddha talked that, as we all know, everybody desire to free from suffering is clear. Those who practice Dharma or don't practice Dharma, those who are politicians, those who are business people, scientists, all what you call, whatever, even the animals, insects, sea mammals, everybody is same kind of in the mind, educated or uneducated, rich or poor, just only we want to free from suffering and just want to have peace and happiness. Maybe they don't know what happiness is, but in the innate of the mind, they just want to free from suffering and want to have peace and happiness. And they may not know what suffering is about, but the feeling of the suffering gives discomfort. And that's why everybody is working hard. Everyone is making effort. If you look at the ants, working so hard, running here and there, so many taking the hole and then finding out a place like a mouse or this, the birds, you see, small insects, all everyone, just want to free from suffering, but they don't have bigger picture of what suffering is about. Especially, they don't know what's the cause of suffering. Not only just animals, even with human beings. There are some very gifted people, some great scientists, highly educated people in the world. Still they don't know what suffering is about. They're just investigating, doing something, putting something together. And having said that, you see, the Indo-Tibetans is the framework of all the things that functions in the world. Everybody is doing something, means creating cause, condition. So that means they know that peace and happiness depends on something. It doesn't happen by just wishing, or by believing religion, or by believing something else. Have to create. So that's called Indo-Tibetan. That's the main point that Buddha taught. It's called Indo-Tibetan causality, the cause and the result. You see, and that's the very precious. So Buddha's teaching, as I mentioned many times, it's not just the religion to believe something, or something Buddha created. Say, if you go this where I designed, he just said that everything functions this way, this. This is the reason. There are four types of reasoning. The Gyaltshen is the first is called the functioning of the cause. When there's a cause, and then it brings the result. Gyaltshen. See, when there's a certain cause there, and from that result manifests. Dependent to the cause. It's very specific, precise. Nothing goes wrong. Whether we are aware or not aware, whether we know or don't know, whether we accept or not accept, as long as when there's a greater cause, and that manifests the result. Whatever things happening, good or bad, all based on the cause. Nothing manifests out of blue. You call that, isn't it? Out of blue means out of nothing. Yeah. Is that right?
Yes.
See? Anything, everything, whatever manifesting is based on the cause. And there's a specific, there's a specific result, effects just come out due to that particular cause. So all things, that's a second, then this is happening because of this. When you make fire, what happens? It produces the heat, isn't it? It burns. It burns, it brings the heat. That's reasonable. When you make the fire, it's reasonable, it burns. It brings the heat. The cause of nature, reason of the nature. Why you say, why fire is so hot? Why? Why the fire is hot? Why not the ice is hot? Why ice is cold? Why? Why not ice can create a hot? No, see, that's, you cannot explain why. You should answer, Sister, well, yeah, that happens. You say no. It's called the natural reasoning. You see, if you eat the poison, it will cause you death. You say, why? Why I die for the poison, See, so Buddha taught on the basis of these reasons. So made such a precise, clear, so that we can follow. This is nothing to do any religion or culture, belief system, lifestyle. It transcends all the differences. This wisdom is taught. You see, over 2,600 years ago, Buddha taught that. Still, so precise. Nothing is need to be changed. What we are facing is difficult to understand. What's that? We're having difficult to have the wisdom to penetrate that. So that's why you see, when you know these things, then you say, oh, yes, it's empirical. You say empirical, isn't it? Make sense? It's an empirical reason. So these are the sincerely. Otherwise, sometimes we in the Dharma practice, we negotiate, isn't it? What if I practice this much, it's okay. If I don't practice, it is okay. And then Lama said, oh yes, it's okay. If I don't purify, it is okay. And the Lama said, oh yes, it's okay, don't purify. It's negotiation. So you can, when you know these reasons, there's nothing to negotiate, you know. You have to purify. That's what Dharma study is important. Study, but main points. Not too much, you know. There's so much knowledge is existing in the world now, you see. You have no time to read all the books that's written now or translated, you know, isn't it? Every year, how many books are coming out? And life is so busy. So you have to study all written by enlightened masters. Otherwise, there are some smart people, they write all the things, you know, and very interesting things, you know. So this whole reasoning is so precious, you see. Through our we have five aggregate, the five aggregate content, you know, five skandha, you know, you see. And with that, you see, that's called Nomoba, the klesha, the afflictions. From that afflictions, afflicted emotions, then we create the karma. So there's no something like ego, something is existence ego, self grasping the self, something is not exist, it's just a level. It's just like, you know, it's like hand, my head, you know, it's just a level. But then we are so got used to it, that something exists. Not only exists, it's so pernicious, so strong. Something like substantial, it exists. I dislike, then there's a strong hatred because of that. When there's attached, it's something exists, that's so attached to. So there's self-grasping from that ego. And we're so habituated that, as mentioned last time, you know, so much, you know. And that is habituated not just few days ago, or not just few months ago, few years ago, through many lifetimes. Even animals, they have that. That habit has inveterate, very ingrained within us. We're entangled within that. And it's very painful. If somebody calls you a bad name, and you feel so upset, something like your whole life is ruined. Even you cannot sleep. It's just a level. can say how stupid we are in the world. So this how the taught how things are, and purify those. We are studying, practicing Buddha's teaching, not because of something we change our religion, We should have such a clear picture. Our practice is not changing religion, but understand the facts, the reality naturally, how everything constituted. Since we do desire, suffering, what are the causes of suffering? Since we don't desire all these problems, what are those, what are the root causes? Since we desire for peace and happiness, what are the causes for peace and happiness? See, as it is, since it is the universal, so reflect on that. And then when you follow path, then you will really enjoy the Dharma. No matter how much you can do, you will enjoy. It's not a big burden. It's not something, this is my samaya, I have to do it. If I break samaya's problem, It's nothing to the samaya or anything. Okay. It's the causality. Make sense? So then, when you caught up with the samaya or this, it gives you a big burden. Oh, if I don't practice it, I break samaya, then I will go to the hell realm, But if you know this way, every minute you practice Dharma, you enjoy, you appreciate. I'm so fortunate. Otherwise, when we don't explain Dharma clearly, precisely, then they involve samaya, It's another cause of big baggage on your shoulder, Everything within the framework of the causality, okay? There's no such called samaya outside of that causality. Buddha explained this. What that means is, if you do this, this will happen. If you don't follow that, and this suffering will come. And later, some individuals, it made some kind of, I don't know what to say, special kind of tool to, to follow, something. That's called don't break samaya, Of course, yes, it is samaya. I'm not saying there's no samaya. Samaya is part of the causality. Okay? There's no such called separate from the causality. So the Buddha's teaching is so beautiful, so precious. It's universal. And you will enjoy every minute, every second. And that's the Buddha who taught this. As last time mentioned, before becoming Buddha, Siddhartha went all the steps, training himself. He was investigating himself. Like these modern scientists, they investigate everything, isn't it? So like himself, he trained, he investigated, trained himself, went through step by step. If I do this, what I'm experiencing? When I do this, what kind of experience I have? So those great bodhisattvas, when they received some special teachings, then they felt so happy. Okay, this is general idea. Okay, it makes sense. Okay, meditate on these, practice on these, and then now I thought maybe go briefly on this because we have a next special program today. So I thought we should do this, take advantage, Now since everybody is practicing bodhicitta, we all took refuge in the Dhammasaka. We took the 5 precepts. And then on about that, I think there's no one who has not received empowerment. Is there anyone who hasn't received empowerment? You haven't received empowerment. Any
empowerment. I'm not sure. Maybe.
You're not sure? I'm sure you haven't
Are you including refuge as an empowerment?
Me?
Refuge? Well, in your question to somebody who doesn't know,
Yes, I'm saying you have received
is
a refuge.
refuge considered an empowerment?
Yes,
Oh.
Okay,
Does
so
refuge count as an empowerment? She's
yeah,
asking.
refuge, then empowerment. So something step by step, You have received the refuge fast, refuge ordination, then you have received the Bodhisattva's vow, then you have received empowerment. So here, bodhicitta, we talked about practice of bodhicitta, all this in the Jewel Ornament of Liberation, I mentioned repeatedly, it's such a precious book. So in that book, here, chapter 11, Jewel Ornament of Liberation, Training, Action, Bodhicitta. In that training, Bodhicitta, action, training, action, Bodhicitta has 2, abbreviated and more details. So this one is very abbreviated. So I'll read step by step. I'm sure you have read it, but we can go again. So here, B, training in action bodhicitta. B means the A is training the aspiration bodhicitta. Okay, the aspiration bodhicitta is the A bodhicitta. Action, aspiration bodhicitta. So here we have action bodhicitta. Okay, action bodhicitta has 3 types of training. The training in superior morality, the training in superior thought. This thought or samadhi is same. Samadhi or thought, same. It very said, Simji, Simbilava, Lava. And the training in superior wisdom awareness is 3 training. The left for the path to enlightenment says that is written by Atisha, the great teacher Atisha. I'm sure everyone wants to know Atisha. If in that text said, if one trains the vows, the action bodhicitta, and trains well the 3 types of moral ethics, devotion for the 3 moral ethics will increase. See, once you took the Bodhisattva's vow, then train your mind. So training the mind, lava in Tibetan, lava, understand, practice, understand, practice, yes, training. Then when you train in these 3 types of the training, and then that bodhicitta will increase, develop, increase, build strength. Devotion for the 3 trainings, devotion for the three moral ethics will increase. Now, this is, after that, these three trainings are included into the six parameters. So here, say generosity, moral ethics, and patience are the training in superior morality. From the six parameters, first three, practice of generosity, moral ethics, and the patience. These are the training in the superior morality. Then meditative concentration is the training in the superior thought. Okay. And discriminating wisdom, susu hada beriba, susu to beriba, susu to bishara. Awareness, wisdom awareness is the training in the superior wisdom. And then the fourth one, the perseverance, is the support for all the three, means to perfect the training of the morality, to perfect the training of the samadhi of the thoughts, and to perfect the training of the wisdom awareness. That perseverance is the key. We need perseverance, the practice, or joyous effort. Just that will help to progress our practice. So keep that in the mind. And then the ornament of Minor Sutra says, this Bhattacharya says, with respect to the three trainings, as I have mentioned, the victorious one, the Buddha one, explained the six paramitas, six perfection. Paramita means six perfection. Well, the first three belong to the first training, moral ethics. The last two belong to the last two, and last two is from the last two, first one is meditative concentration or the thought. So the samadhi. And then last one is wisdom awareness. So that's called the last two belongs to the two, last two. And one belongs to all. The one is the perseverance. The perseverance is belong to all the three together. Okay? So now is, see, just in a few words, Kampupa has a skill how to bring together. It's the first three trainings. And then he said the six parameters. So how the six parameters can be associated with the three trainings, explained so beautifully. Now this all, as we should all understand, is a training of the mind. How to train the mind, step by step. So here now, therefore, the summary, now you should memorize this. Generosity, moral ethics, patience, perseverance, meditative concentration, and discriminating wisdom. These six comprise the training in action with Chitta. In Tibetan, Chitta, Sutru, Sobat. Chitta, Sutru, Sobat. Sutru, something, Sharanti. Sharanti, the two Kenny, Juba, Jajusebe, Tobe, Juba, this card. Now this is not just Kampupa saying by his thoughts, but he's making this text so precious, totally based on the Buddha's teaching. So this is therefore the Subahu. 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 Is that right? Subahu? You have the text? Tibet is your ornament. Subahu?
Subahu.
Okay. Subahu Lasan. Requested Lasan Yeshiva Do, it's called Tibetan. Gentle hand. Who gives things is a gentle hand. A beautiful hand, Okay. In that requested Sudara says, Subahu.
So Buddha saying, since he requested,
So Buddha is telling him, Subahu. In order for a Bodhisattva, Mahasattva, to achieve enlightenment quickly, he must persistently concentrate on full perfection of the 6 parameters, the 6 perfections. See how beautifully explained you see. What are those 6? That's Buddha saying. They are perfection of generosity, perfection of moral ethics, perfection of patience, perfection of perseverance, perfection of meditative concentration, and the perfection of wisdom, awareness. Okay. So this all just passed together, very precisely, clearly. Now Kabobo is explaining step by step this, you see. These 6 will be explained in a concise way, and then each branch in more details. All the 6 concise together with very concise, and then each all one by one will explain details. Okay. Now first branch details. Now the explanation of the concise meaning, the summary. Now here's a summary. See. Definite number. Why the 6? Why not 5? Why not 4? Or why not there should be 7? Why definitely 6? Why? See, definite number. And definite order. Why not one order first, the other? Why generosity is first? Then moral ethics, all the steps. Why the wisdom is the last? You see. High order. And then each of these characteristics, okay, then definition, and then division, then multiply from that house, definition, also divisions, and grouping all the house, the 6 can be put together, how? So these 6 comprises the 6 parameters. So you memorize this. In Tibetan, it's Tange Kurim Yabata. Sinyita, Nizita, Yeta, Yawata, Duate, Druki Poruchin to Deuce. I try to memorize. My memory is very bad. So that helps me, even without text, then I say, okay. Why the 6? Why this order? Okay. Now, the first definite number. Okay. The 6 parameters are explained according to
temporarily higher
status, and definite goodness. Yeah. With the 3 for temporary higher status and 3 for definite goodness. Okay. The 3 for temporary higher status are, see, generosity, which is for wealth, moral ethics, which is for the body, and patience, which is for surrounding people. Make sense? Does it make sense?
Surrounding people, what do we mean?
Oh,
What means surrounding people?
Or surround.
first you see, there are some individuals or people, of course they have to work hard to make the wealth, but some are very successful, some are not successful, you know. Maybe they are doing the same thing, but some individuals very successful, and some individuals always, something is going wrong. See, if you have practiced generosity in this life, then that generosity not just only become rich in this life, but for next life, life after life. So this one, we'll discuss more about this. And morality, to reborn as to have the precious human life, what you have to have, keep the moral ethics. Okay. Some people, say, what should I do to born again as a human being? What should I do? What kind of prayer should I say? Keep the moral ethics. Like the 5 precepts, designed. Look at the mind, you see. When you are so mentally so stupid, it doesn't make any sense. You are so stupid, and how you can have the precious human life. See? Or when your mind is totally occupied by the anger, hatred. And such a strong attachment, desire. Breaking all the vows to that. How you can expect to be born as a human being. When you study practice Dharma, you have to have a clear mind. You have to understand the suffering of samsara, the cause of samsara. To meditate the mind, you need just a clear mind to meditate. Relaxed mind. Without that mind, how you can meditate? To practice Dharma, you have to have a wisdom. Why you are practicing Dharma? Otherwise you sit there and you just emotionally just say, I want to sit. As you sit there, sitting there for a few hours, then after something you feel, what I'm doing here? I'm just wasting my time here. It's much better to go outside and walk on the beach, to walk on the mountain. I just being so stupid sitting here for nothing. You feel that kind of, see. So if you have kept the moral ethics, every minute you sit there, you enjoy. Because you know why you are doing see. And then, see, surrounding, you see, you have to have a patience, compassion, loving kindness, harmony with your friend. If you have no patience, always quarreling with your friends, you will have no any friends. Everyone will run away. A teacher also who needs compassion, patience. If the teacher, always scolding his students, all these things, then nobody will be around. So this was great bodhisattvas, who have such great qualities, mental qualities, and wisdom, all out of, because of the expressed compassion. Compassion is not just being just silly, but smart, awareness. You feel others' feeling. You know what others' feeling is about. Then with compassion, you support others. You don't take advantage of others. Instead, support others. Then others will appreciate. The more that you see that they're back. So that's called surrounding. Okay? Make sense now? Dharma practitioners, you see, those who are in the retreat, go in the retreat for a long time, they just sit in the retreat. Without support, how can they go to retreat? No working even one day. They get support from others because they practice generosity. Giving, they exercise giving in their previous life. And you see, because they have practiced moral ethics, Shila, they have the precious human life. Because they have practiced the patience, the people support him or her. They appreciate, thank you. Because they enjoy Dharma, they like to continue the retreat. Because they have practiced the samadhi, they can go on with the retreat for long hours. They're never tired. Because they have the wisdom, they can see things, the root cause of samsara, and how to free from samsara. They have the wisdom. You see? Makes sense? You see? That's what I say, which is for wealth, and moral ethics, which is for the bhakti, and the patience, which is for surrounding people. The three for the definite goodness are the perseverance. We need perseverance, like effort. Enjoy your Dharma practice. That's called perseverance, And which is this, then. Which is for the increasing perseverance, which is for increasing virtue, meditative concentration, which is for karma abiding, and wisdom awareness, which is for special insight. So those practitioners, how we need this now here. So how to train the mind, to stabilize the mind, to appreciate, to rejoice, then you see. As last time mentioned, all the mental afflictions that we have, when it rises, how much we suffer. in the world nowadays. Look at so many people are suffering so much. They may have enough food to eat, a place to live, but mentally how much they're tortured because of the mental afflictions. They don't realize that the mental afflictions, the main cause, they are tortured. They're feeling somebody is doing bad things to them. You did this for me. You are the one this. I'm suffering because of you, because of that, because of this, that, you know. So it's all trained the mind. And the training minds, you can only you yourself can train. Nobody can train. Even Buddha can explain you what to do, how to do. But your mental afflictions you have, Buddha cannot take away your mental afflictions. So you say, look at this. It's not so, mental training is not that easy. Just for example, Rejuba, you know Rejuba? The disciple of Milarepa. The top, one of the top disciple of Milarepa. And he went to India to get more teachings, philosophy, logic, all this. He met some good teachers. And then he returned after some time. Then in his mind said, my Guru, Milarepa, no doubt, is highly accomplished in his meditation. No. But scholarship-wise, I'm a little smarter. Because I met so many of those great teachers. He developed some kind of arrogance in his mind. That is the problem, you know. So Milarepa came to know about that. This is obstacle. And Milarepa did all, as you know, in the yak horns and all these things, you know. Milarepa was in the yak horn and he couldn't go in the yak horn. All these things still, I know better. And there are so many things happen. And then Milarepa just fly in the sky and multiply so many and dissolve into one, all this. And then Rishabha thought, this is just nothing, just play. Why you want to do these things, you know? So still his arrogance is there. Finally, then after all this monk, you read, you know, at the end, and Milarepa said one song. You see, what he said was, your Lord, all in one. But one is, he said, it is possible to meet the two mountains of the other side and this side together. But to meet your mind, the Dharma is very difficult. Even it is possible to bend the buffalo horn and the stick, which is so dry, is possible to bend. But this wild, crooked mind is difficult to bend. In the cold weather, you know, your bed is so precious, you know. So it is possible you can give up this comfortable bed, but it's difficult to get rid of this ego. So this is, if I'm alive, this is my advice, and if I die, this is my testament. You know? So then Milarepa just disappear in the sky. Finally, Rejumba was done his all. For the sake of my ego, I lost my teacher. Now what should I do? I have no one to rely on. Finally, he got the message. You know? Finally, he got total the message. Now, see, even I alive, what to do? Nothing now. I lost my teacher. He got such great remorse, powerful remorse, you know. I better die. May I reborn where Milarepa is. He jumped from the cliff. He got this kind of now. Listen. And that moment Milarepa just came out and then hauled from Rejuma, hauled from that cliff. So this is all mind training. Our mind training is not easy. We have to train the mind every day, you know. All the teachings are designed for this. It's just, if we train the mind, then we're so happy. Nothing will bother you. If you get sick, it's blessing. You feel it's blessing. Even a lot of obstacle comes, you feel it is blessing. Even somebody hits you on the road, on your head, so this is a blessing. Okay, make sense? These are just train our mind. See, I'm not saying we should be all the victim of everything, you know. Whether we be a victim or not is just the mind. If you take all as an ornament, blessing, as a teaching, it's not a victim, it's an opportunity. If you take it is all just I'm victimized by this, that, then the anger is there, the resentment is there, but you cannot do so much. Then it's called we are victimized. I'm the victim of this. And suffering is there. Your anger is there, but you cannot do so much. It's suffering. But if you know how to take this as a lesson, as a training of the mind, you know, as a method to develop bodhicitta, develop the wisdom, then this is all opportunity. Okay, so we have to understand this between this line, what it means. Same thing, but depending your mind how to handle that. If you don't know how to handle these things well, it's just it victimizes us. We will suffer. There's resentment. And if you know how to handle all these things as a blessing, it's opportunity. Build this strength, courage, and wisdom. So that's what is this all about, you see. Okay. Thus the ornament of Mahayana Sutra says, excellent wealth, excellent body, and excellent surrounding are for temporary higher status, even in the human realm, even in the samsara, when you have the precious human life. So these are three are the cause for that. To have good wealth, practice generosity. To have a good body, practice this good to have good friends and practice this patience. And so forth. Okay. Now you understand the definite number? Okay. Definite number is. Now second, definite order. They are explained in the order they develop in the mind. Through the practice of generosity, one will accept the pure morality without focusing on material concern. When one has moral ethics, one will have patience. When one has the patience, one can make effort with the perseverance. See, first we giving practice, offering here, there, anything, offerings, and then there are many just as mentioned, not just one wealth, only wealth, but there are so many service. You do good service to others, to the center, helping others, and giving things what you can, help others, and helping others, those who need, who are sick, protecting from their sickness, and there are so many, and sharing the wisdom to others, or you're doing practice of generosity, all these things. Then you are feeling, what I can do more than this, what I should do more than this, our practice. Then they inspire you, keep the percent, even 1%, 2%, 3, 4, 5. There's a 5 percent. Okay, that's very good. So keeping the percent is really hard, more difficult than giving things. It's much easier to give like $1, to keep the 1%. So then after that you follow, keeping the percent. Oh, I could keep the percent. Oh, I feel very comfortable with this practice. And this is also not just only keep the percent, but it's also protection. It protects me from a lot of things. Just for example, say, don't use drug. You don't realize how much it damages using the drug. Being alcohol, become alcoholic. How it damages your body, your wealth. In the society, when one is an alcoholic, people look down. They say, he or she is alcoholic. Don't trust. It's not religious training. If one is not using all drugs, not harming others, not taking life means not harming others, not stealing, not engaging in the sexual misconduct, not telling lie, is becoming a very good human being. Everybody will trust that person. Anybody, don't need to be even Buddhist or any religion, even just generally in the world. Those individuals who keeps these 5%, people trust, respect you. See, it's a little harder than practicing generosity. Then, after that, when one has moral ethics, one will have patience. Then when you keep it, for example, 5% is kept well, then you feel, to keep the 5% is not that easy. I have to have a patience. So for patience comes follow. sometimes you can see the shortcoming. Difficult to keep that precept, but you make effort. And patience, it comes to patience. You can bear difficult things. So then follows the patience. When one can make effort with the perseverance, after patience is developed, then practicing Dharma with perseverance follows. You enjoy the Dharma practice. You like the Dharma practice. You want to read. You want to sit. You want to meditate. See, when one has made effort with the perseverance, meditative concentration will arise. And when you enjoy the Dharma, reading, chanting, this, then you can meditate, practice, relaxing. One-pointed mind comes. When one is observed in the meditative concentration, one will perfect, realize the nature of all phenomena. A special insight will manifest. You see the real nature. Everything's nothing but only natural, illusory nature, natural emptiness. See? As we mentioned repeatedly, I mentioned before, no? There are some people say, can you give us some Mahamudra? No, we'll not do. It's so, it's so good, you know. And then the teacher gives you Mahamudra or Bhojan, you know, teaching the instruction, and then not prepare the rest, you know. They get that. So that's it. Doesn't make much sense, you know. This is the highest teaching. You know, it's empty, then what? What do you get it? There's nothing to get, you know. Because our mind is totally grasping, getting something, you know, some concrete. You know. This, when you come to the point of the Mahamudra Zosin, there's nothing to achieve concrete thing, you know. Everything is nothing but empty. That's it. There's nothing to achieve. I give up, you know. But if you know step by step all this, then when you come there, then you see the juice, the nectar, ambrosia. You know, you don't appreciate, don't know how to go to. That's why it's step by step. This about. Make sense? Okay, that's the or. Here, mention or. The order is explained from lower to higher practice. Those which are lower are explained first, and the superior ones are explained later, one after another. Or another way, the order is from the gross to the subtle level. You see, mind becoming more subtle. See. In a busy mind, you can give any practice, giving, you know, anything. But to keep the moral ethics, you need a little more careful, your mind more subtle, relax. And then patience, of course, more, you know, bringing mind more in the practice of patience. Then perseverance, of course. Then the fifth, samadhi, just calm and mind. Especially inside mind, you need your vajra mind, indestructible mind to manifest special insight. So that's how this order, please reflect on this step by step, okay? Once explained later, the way order is from the gross to the subtle level. Those which are more gross are easier to follow. and explain first and those which are subtle and more difficult to follow as explained later. It's all other step. The ornament of Mahayana Sutra says, thus the second arises in dependence to the first, means second, like say, moral ethics is arise dependent on the practice of generosity. And then the patience is rise dependent on the moral ethics, so it's like that. And depends on the first, because some abide lower and higher, because of being gross or subtle. In this way, the order abide respectively. These are general practitioners. Okay? And then characteristics, okay, now these 6 parameters, characteristics. The perfection of each of the 6 parameters, perfection of the bodhisattvas, generosity and so forth, is categorized into 4 characteristics. The decrease, the opposite. Means when you practice generosity, what it decrease? Oh?
Greedy.
Greedy, yes. Greedy, stinginess. And when you practice the, this one, the decrease, the opposite. And when you practice the moral ethics, what decreases? Hostility, or the gross mind. When you practice patience, what decreases? Anger, resentment, hatred. When you practice perseverance, what decreases? Laziness. Okay, decreases the laziness. And when you practice samadhi, what decreases? Scattered mind. And then when you practice wisdom, what decreases? Ignorance. Wild, afflictive, stupidities, ignorance, and so on. Okay. What's that? They produce the primordial wisdom of conceptual thoughts. See, they're combined together, then all become the support of the to realize your primordial mind as it is. They fulfill all that is the desire. When you practice these 6 parameters this way, then you fulfill yourself, your desires fulfilled, and others' desires are fulfilled. Then mature all sentient beings in the 3 ways. And the 3 ways is the, first I said, the 3 ways is the training of this, you see, the 3 persons, called inferior person, and then the mediocre person, and the superior person. Is how they train step by step. The ornament of Mahayana Sutra says, generosity destroys the opposite, possess the primordial wisdom of conceptual thoughts, fulfill all sentient beings, all desires, and matures sentient beings in the 3 ways, and so forth. Okay. On. So how train your mind step by step like that. Okay. And next,
Question, please.
Oh,
Can we ask question on that one?
yeah, first maybe finish.
Okay.
That would, if you have any list, we can
Yes.
discuss. Now, definition. Generosity dispels poverty, you see. Basically, the poverty depends your mind. When you know how to appreciate, when you know how to content, you are rich. You don't have to have a lot of things. There are some very rich, they feel so poor. They said some hungry ghost, they possess such luxury. But they're the hungry ghost, you know. Just for example, Milarepa possesses nothing, you know. Should we call him a poor? He said, I'm rich. Because he knows how to appreciate, rejoice. If somebody gave him a bowl of soup, you know, then he's totally satisfied. And he doesn't need anything. So that's why Nagarjuna's letter mentioned, said, within all the wealths, you know, the contentment is the best wealth. That is said by Buddha, he said, Nagarjuna. Therefore, we should train ourselves how to practice the contentment. When you know how to content, if you don't have wealth, you are rich. I think this is such a precious teaching. It's not discouraging you shouldn't work, okay? It's not encouraging you shouldn't work, make money, you know. You can do whatever you like. But if you know how to content, then that is what we can appreciate. We can rejoice. That's just in the morning, you get up, have some breakfast, a toast, a bowl of cereal. So look at this. This is that I'm eating. This involves so many people's effort. Just look at how it is composed, compounded. How many people involved? The farmer. The farmer first growed in the farm. And then all people that contributed. The aid, the companies, they brought to the store. And the people who are in the store, how they work, they're together. And then we go to the store and got that, and found that. And that we're now, we're cooking and we're eating that. So you appreciate that, dedicate that. All the people who involved to that, everybody's work hard. They want to be happy. They want to be free from suffering. Like myself. And I appreciate that. Dedicate that. May everybody have all the peace and happiness. May everybody free from suffering. May they achieve complete enlightenment. So that bowl of the toast you are eating, you can do a wonderful practice there. This bodhicitta becomes so rich. Okay? So that poverty is okay. Now moral ethics achieves coolness, you see, as a mission. When you protect your like 5 precepts as mission, and there are more other, if you could keep these precepts, what Buddha taught, the last I mentioned, what Buddha prescribed as mission, proscribed, avoid all what the Buddha prescribed. And it's because they are only cause of suffering. You should aware that. Some people think if I don't take the precept, then I'm okay if I do anything, They're kind of, what do you call it, don't have enough wisdom. Don't understand enough, don't have enough wisdom to see things. And some teacher also they tell you, if you can keep the precept, you take it. Very good, they say. If you cannot keep the precept, don't take it, they say. That's the real, it's a bad thing, Big mistake. That means if you don't take the precept as a mission, I'll say, I cannot take the precept of taking life. So I don't take the precept to want to take the life, And then after I'm not taking the life, and I will not take the precept, go around killing people. That doesn't solve the problem. Still, it's more stupid. They say, I don't have the precept, so I can do this, I can do that, So I didn't take the precept to drink, So I can drink because I have no perception. I didn't take the precept. You drink. That is called ignorance. Ignorance is very dangerous. Make sense? So what Buddha prescribed, don't do these things, is because they create the cause of suffering. So for our own benefit, not to suffer, Buddha prescribed, don't do all these things. And Buddha prescribed, do all these things means it's good for us. Put in action and get the benefit. So this is here. It comes so beautifully, And then we say, achieve coolness, freshness, coolness. Shila, Sanskrit word, Shila means fresh, coolness. Keep your mind fresh. Because when our mind is occupied by this mental affliction, then our mind is what you call dull, unclear. Patience induces hatred. Perseverance applied to Supreme One means the practice of the perseverance, then we progress on the path. Yes. Meditative concentration brings the mind inside. Those our mind goes outside. It goes outside, reflecting. And wisdom awareness realizes the ultimate meaning. Ultimate means unfabricated, uncontrived. That's called ultimate meaning. Free from the delusions. Yeah. They are the cause to cross samsara and achieve nirvana. So these 6 are designed and method to cross the samsara, to free from samsara. So all we need all together to realize the wisdom, to have that kind of special wisdom. we need all the support. Because in the Bodhcha Avatara, in the 9th chapter mission, all the first five, the Greek first five perfections are to design, to manifest special insight. Buddha taught about it. Buddha taught about to realize the wisdom. We need all the other factors to increase, to support, to manifest the wisdom. Okay. So that way, then we can free from samsara. Therefore, there are called paramita. Paramita means Sanskrit, paramita. It's called paramita. Param means beyond. Ita means to get there. And to get other side of samsara. Thus the ornament of Mahayana Sutra says, therefore it is said, dispelling poverty, obtaining coolness, and enduring headache, applying to the spring and holding the mind inside, realizing the ultimate meaning. Okay. The fifth one, division. Generosity of generosity. Generosity of moral ethics. So moral ethics of generosity, patience of generosity, perseverance of generosity, meditative concentration of generosity, the wisdom awareness of generosity. So just one past generosity can multiply into 6. 6 multiplied by 6, how many?
36.
Huh?
36.
36, yes. Okay. 6 multiplied by 6, 36. 6 multiplied by 36, how many?
A lot.
108, isn't it? Yeah. Have you studied mathematics? In arithmetic, you have this, addition, subtraction, you multiply, all this you see. So this goes like that. Okay? It's how division is made, how multiplied, okay? Thus, the ornament of clear realization, this is what is called abhisamaya admiration, the ornament of clear realization. And the other one is called the ornament of sutra, dodike. Abhisamaya alankara is mondoke. Now you understand the first 2 ornaments. The first is called the ornament of clear realization, and the second is called the ornament of sutra. Okay, ornament of Mahayana Sutra. Mahayana Sutra. Okay, that says the 6 parameters, generosity and so forth, grouped individually, are the practice of the armor of the enlightenment, which precisely explained, multiply 6 by 6, 36. Okay? That in the part that's called part of accumulation and part of application. So this is a part of it, part of accumulation. Okay. So you see, this all, you study these things, this will help you to understand Buddha's teaching, philosophy. It makes your mind broader. See. Now next is grouping. They are also grouped into two accumulations. These all six perfections you can group into two. Okay. Generosity and moral ethics are the accumulation of merit, and wisdom awareness is the accumulation of profession wisdom. So those into these two. Rest, patience, perseverance, and meditative concentrations are included in both accumulations to the support of the both. Support for the merit or support for the wisdom. Okay. Thus the ornament of the Mahayana Sutra says, generosity and moral ethics are the accumulation of merit. Wisdom awareness is the accumulation of perfection, of perfect wisdom. And the other three belongs to both. So this one saying. Sometimes I'm sure you have heard of from these six, say, first three, generosity, moral ethics, patience, belong to the merit, accumulation of merit. And the last two, the samadhi and wisdom awareness, are included in the wisdom accumulation. Okay. And the perseverance is then shared by both. That's one saying that. Sometimes they also say first five are included in the accumulation of merit, and the sixth one is accumulation of wisdom. Okay, so they are this all. So this, if you meditate on these, then help us how to practice Dharma. It gives you some understanding. It helps you. It helped our understanding more. Okay. This is the 11th chapter dealing with the explanation of the 6 parameters from the jewel ornament of liberation, the wish-fulfilling gem of the noble teachings. This is a complete title. Okay. The complete title is Jewel Ornament of Liberation, the wish-fulfilling gem of the noble teaching. It's a very beautiful title. The title is just what you call it explains the meaning of the text itself. Yes, now what's your question?
Use the microphone, then they can hear it in Zoom.
Yes. Under characteristics, can you explain more fully? They fulfill all that is desired. Because many times what we desire is
They produce the pre-model wisdom of conceptual thoughts. They fulfill all that is a desire. That's it, the desire, the majesty, the major all sentient beings in the 3 ways.
Many times what we desire is not good for us. So
yes,
they fulfill all that is desired.
The desire, what that means is, you see, when you explain, when the teacher explains what we should have the desire and what we should not have the desire. So we have all different desires. But when they explain enough, well, then you understand, oh, this is what I desire for. It's not worthwhile. So all your ignorance are dissolved there. And now this is you should have desire. And then to free from samsara, to help other sentient beings, to attain enlightenment, those things. Okay.
It's hard.
Any questions now? Yes, Rick, yes.
Yeah, in the jewel ornament, under giving charity, there's a section where it says you should not give traps, skills, etc., which is all obvious. But near the end it says you should not give a small quantity when you have great wealth. Of course, that makes sense. And then it says you should not accumulate wealth for giving. That one bothers me a little bit because kind of my intention with the company is to create
Yes.
wealth and give to the Dharma. So is that wrong?
As a businessman, different. Now, what that was is in those who are the retreat, those who are retreat, require the retreat, then you stick with the retreat, meditate there. And don't go around, I want to have this is go around collecting money, So don't do that. It distracts your meditation.
Yes.
It's not saying it's a bad thing, but it distracts your meditation.
Mm.
That's why you don't collect. Yes, these are very precise, very carefully taught. Otherwise, somebody will go around everywhere. I'm doing this. So can you give us? Can you give me? Can you collect? And you are totally distracted from your meditation. And you have no time to meditate. You have to think so much. You have to plan. There you have to plan all the design, And then say, you just lost your meditation. And that's not a good thing. When you meditate, practice Dharma, and fully engage in the meditation, and totally purify your mind, and totally develop your wisdom, compassion, and you can do more better. Okay. Yes, otherwise we need this, we need great sponsors. Yes.
Haven't accumulated it yet.
Yeah.
Any other questions or in Zoom? Yes. Kate, now.
Oh,
She has a question not specific to today's teaching.
yeah, what speak you have?
So on page 41 in this book,
Yes.
In the volume 1 book,
41, yes, what you said?
he says, because you taught last weekend you taught Om Ahom,
Yes,
white, red, blue.
yes.
On this page 41,
Uh-huh.
he's talking white, red, blue, and yellow.
Yellow at the level,
Yes.
yes.
Is-
I'm relating the 3 syllables.
That's right.
Yes, there's no yellow syllable.
Well, I know.
Yes.
So my question is there a seed syllable that matches the yellow? Is there a seed syllable?
Yeah, there's sometimes not, mostly not.
No.
Yeah.
That's my question. Thank you.
paramitas,
Yes,
as we practice them in order, and each depends on the other one.
yes,
And as we get to meditative concentration, and we continue to, with our shamatha and our vipassana practice, and move toward wisdom, I'm not going to say I practice wisdom, but getting to wisdom and having the realization or a taste of that realization of ultimate reality or truth, and then going back to generosity, moral ethics. When you get back to generosity or move through them again, it feels like it opens up a different way of experiencing them, because you've experienced the wisdom almost. And so, for example, with generosity, you recognize giving without expectation of getting anything back, without the attachment to that expectation. So as you move through each of those, do you continue to just keep practicing, because they build upon one another, but they also feed back into one another, so your wisdom grows as well as you move through those?
as you see down here, in this, there are just mentioned the first is definite order, first, and then the characteristics, and then definition and division, groupings. And also before that is mentioned these 6 parameters are within the 3 trainings. You should understand all this. Within the 3 trainings, all the 6 parameters are there. Then also at the end, at the grouping in that is all 6 parameters are within the 2 accumulations. Accumulation merit and accumulation wisdom. So it's everything makes very important point. First of all, we as a general practitioner, we all as a general practitioner, then all the 6 parameters are encouraged to study, understand them, because this all as such has such great wisdom. A lot of things you can learn from this as a beginner, and all the minor teachings, we should say, are within these 6 parameters. There's so many sutras, as you see, Lanka Avatara. Then there's a sutra called Abhitamsara Sutra, the Mahakaruna Sutra, and so forth there. So all sutras describe so much all this, that they can all bring into these 6 parameters. Okay. Now once you know these things, you understand, you're practicing, you are doing so forth, you see, put into the 3 trainings, you see. Now within the 3 trainings, you see, if you have the pure moral ethics, within that, you are not attached to anything. So free from the attachment is moral, it's called generosity. Minerva said, by avoiding, by having no attachment, releasing all the stinginess is the practice of the generosity. See, when Buddha said practice generosity means just to open your heart, don't so much cling what you have. Don't be so obsessed, because in that attachment you cannot practice bodhicitta. You cannot practice loving kindness, compassion. So you have to break through this. So that's why And if you read the Jewel on Liberation at the generosity section, these are allowed, these are not allowed. No, there's all things that explain so precisely. No any boundary, no those things. Like that. Anyway, first, then when you have the real good, pure moral ethics, then you have no anger, no hatred. So the first three within this moral ethics, you see. Then samadhi, you need kind of such a stability of the mind. Without the stability of the mind, there's no basis for the wisdom to function, especially insight. Especially insight, you need the samadhi. That's why in the Bodhisattva Dharamation, at the last time I quoted that. Shine Radon Hadon, the one number of Shechiness. Shine with the supreme calm abiding samadhi. Then kindle special insight. This synchronizing these two coming together, that can obliterate your afflictions. See, see. Thomas then he's saying how to achieve that samadhi. Then he goes on how to mind, how to protect your mind from all the distractions. See. So when you have the good moral ethics, then it becomes a very good foundation for the samadhi. See, when the samadhi is well established there, then the special insight very easy to manifest because it's a good foundation. There's also examples mentioned like the leg. To have a good leg, you need such a good place to have the leg. And when the leg is not disturbed by the winds, all these birds, very clear, fresh leg, water, the moon's reflection just comes so precisely. So the moon's reflection is a special insight example. And the very calmness of the leg is a samadhi. To have that place properly is moral ethics. This is interdependent. So within that, all the 6 parameters are contained there. You see, you understand that, Otherwise, sometimes you say, you have to have all the 6 parameters one after another, You may have that. So this is very important. Then you see, in the grouping, you see, all this, not here mentioned, and I explained as well, here differently, The first 2 are the merit, accumulation, merit. And then the second and the third or fourth are the part of that. In a way, it is a merit. And then the samadhi and wisdom are the wisdom accumulation, you see. So these 2 means, in other words, the 2 truths, relative truth and absolute truth. You can respond. Without the relative truth, there's no absolute truth. Okay. And the very nature of the relative truth, when you realize directly that itself is nothing but absolute truth. But are they 2 different? They are neither 2 different, or are they one? Neither one, so that's called non-duality. Okay, so you have to understand this. So these are very important to understand from this understanding practice. So we can dissolve all our misunderstanding, doubts, all this can be dissolved within this. Okay. It requires requires a lot of experience, I think. That's it.
Rinpoche, there's a few more questions.
Okay.
Would you like to do now?
Sure,
or when
sure,
we
now,
come back,
now
or-
good.
Okay,
Now you're good.
okay. So.
Are you hungry? Not too rush. Okay.
He should, Lydia asked, under definition,
Hmm?
can you say again about it says, perseverance applies to the Supreme One,
Yeah, perseverance
applies to the Supreme One, under definition.
through the practice of the generosity, then when one has moral ethics, one has patience, then what? Supreme.
On the perseverance, yeah.
Perseverance, oh, okay. When one make effort with the perseverance, when one make effort with the perseverance,
Yeah, it says perseverance applies to the Supreme One, under number 4,
oh,
the
supreme, that
definition.
perseverance,
The Supreme One.
yeah, supreme one is, that means supreme for enlightenment.
Mm. For those who are on the path?
Yes, on the path. Perseverance. Perseverance is the one that cause you to cross the samsara, the supreme. Chola, chola. Or one after another, make progress. No, step by step.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
From generosity to moralities, from moralities to patience, from patience to perseverance, from perseverance to the samadhi, samadhi to wisdom. That also can apply.
Okay. Then there's a question, thank you, that really comes from your talk from last weekend,
Okay?
when you were talking about Nagarjuna's karma,
Okay.
and how Nagarjuna had to remove his head to exhaust that previous karma.
Yes.
And he mentioned here that he also had practiced the 35 Buddhist practice in his life and mastered emptiness. So question is, what is the proper way to understand practices like Numne or Vajrasattva, 35 practices?
Mhm.
What is the purification relationship to maturing the results of our karma and conditions in this or future lives? So kind of in follow-up to that mention about Nagarjuna's karma.
Even though Nagarjuna didn't go through suffering,
Mm.
but he paid the price. So we all have to pay the price, whatever, no matter how great Bodhisattva or anyone, In the US we say, no one is above the law, isn't it? So no one is above the karma, okay? We can understand that, no? Have to pay the, if we create karma, then, okay, we have to prepare, But meanwhile, when you practice dharma and everything is illusory nature, or you practice bodhicitta, when the karma comes, then you see you pay the result of the karma joyfully, with the feeling of, not with the feeling of pain, Oh, I'm paying the karma, I'm so grateful. I got sick, that's very good, I purify, I went through this obstacle, I'm so fortunate, I have the dharma, I just, I handled very skillfully, wisely, without making mess, So you see.
Okay, thank you. Then there's 2 more questions. Dao?
Yeah, doubt, yes.
Okay, so she says, maybe it's not really relevant, but if possible, I want to ask that she heard one session of focused meditation.
Focus.
Somebody told her, she heard something, one session of very focused meditation,
Yes.
concentration, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can be more beneficial than doing charity for many people.
That's right.
So can you say
that's
about that,
right.
yeah?
Yeah. That's there's all descriptions there, a lot of teachings. So like compared to the, yes, 6 parameters, generosity, moral ethics, patience, like this step by step, in the teachings mentioned, you have practiced so much generosity, practice all so much, but keeping one moral ethic is more powerful, more effective than that. So then also mentioned, you see, yes, if you practice, like say, wisdom awareness, meditating in wisdom awareness, demolishing our ego, ignorance, even in 1 second, that meditation is more powerful than you have been practicing. So you are reading, chanting mantras for kalpas, reading, chanting for many years. Instead of that, so instead of just 1 second meditation in the wisdom awareness is more powerful. Because it lifts the mind, and it touches your mind, and purifies your all the delusions, you see. Because that's the one, it really helps you to free from samsara. Not so many like the chanting mantras or millions and millions of mantras chanting. It's, of course, it has a lot of merits, no? But that itself doesn't help us to free from samsara. But meditating in 1 point, so there's no ego exists there, nowhere. And that is the direct cause to free from samsara.
Okay, thank you. And then the last question from Lucas. He said, when Gampopa speaks of calm abiding or Shane, in the context of full perfection of the 6 paramitas.
Yes.
Is that to be understood as meditative concentration of the form realm?
No. Form realm, formless realm is not in that, within that. The form or formless is within the samsara. What Kamupa taking is one pointed concentration, meditative. He includes, I think, the wisdom. So wisdom is within that. All the 6 parameters within 1 point, So if you have meditative concentration of the wisdom awareness, it's called special insight, okay? Special insight. When you have that, in that state of the mind, that very mind your mind is free from the attachment, perfection of generosity. That mind is such a pure, not attached to any mental affliction, is the moral ethics. That very mind has no any anger or hatred, is the perfection of the patience. That mind, you just enjoy that mind. Just sustain that mind is perfection of the perseverance. That one-pointed mind, it itself is the samadhi. And that samadhi itself is wisdom awareness. So all the 6 perfections are within that. Okay?
Okay, last question.
Okay.
There's a follow-on question to Dao's question about the meditation versus doing charity. So then listener Steve were asking, but is the meditation more beneficial than doing charity or bodhicitta for many people? So in this case, they're asking about what is the more benefit for others, the meditation,
Yes.
or doing charity or bodhicitta for many people?
Oh, if you can meditate, that's the best choice. Okay. If you can dedicate your life, go to retreat, meditate there, really, not just being lazy, you know. So some go to retreat and they sleep, you know. Because there's nothing, you know, around. And you feel so relaxed, so happy, you know. So I meditate, I like the retreat, you know. And you get nothing, you can. But there's some who meditate day and night, you see, really 24 hours, you know. And such kind of, you know, if you can do, that's the best choice. And that holds the Buddha's teaching. And from that, when you master on that, and then you can benefit countless sentient beings.
Thank you, Rinpoche.
Okay?
Yes.
Anybody? Yes.
Sorry, I know everyone's hungry, but
Who has the microphone?
thank you. I know everyone's hungry, so I'm trying to be fast, but
Yes, everybody's hungry now.
It's your fault.
so I've been wondering how do Buddhas non-conceptually benefit beings, and this seemed like a good
Oh,
time.
non-conceptual what?
They say in the jewel ornament that the activities, like the result of Buddhahood, is non-conceptually benefiting beings.
Yes, that is.
So I'm wondering how does that occur? What is it about wisdom awareness in particular that is of such benefit to beings that it accumulates more merit?
Yeah, in the Jewel Ornament of Liberation, the chapter 21, you read that. Effortless activities. When you see, just for example, the pilot aeroplane takes off the plane from the ground needs some effort, isn't it? To turn on the button, everything, you know. Once it's fly in the sky, does pilot need effort? Why it functions? Huh?
Of gravity? I don't know.
It flies, you know. Why pilot doesn't need effort?
It already has like the
Momentum.
momentum.
You see, it's called effortlessly flying, you know. So once you practice Dharma enough, plus we need a lot of effort. That's why we need all the support here. So practice of generosity and all the rest you see mentioned here, you know. These are just abbreviated. You know, you see, like you know, these first 4 foundations, 4 ordinary foundations. So then step by step, to see things, how everything functions. You can see all things. Once you tune in, then you don't need so much other things because you're tuned in, you know. See, then your practice becomes effortless. So Buddha, for eons of practicing this, and totally perfected in this practice. You know, he's just like coming into home. When you come to at your home or at your apartment, you know all things where are, you know. So Buddha then knows everything, what is there, what is needed. No need effort. Perfectly just see things without any judgment. No need to judge, no need to ask questions, no. Can see precisely everything as it is. That's what called Buddha is true wisdom. Wisdom knowing everything and wisdom knowing as it is. It's called Chittavacchama Yeshit. Wisdom knowing as it is unfabricated, uncontrived nature. Within this uncontrived and unfabricated, and then just everything manifests, you see, within that, not out of that. Then knowing all the causalities. So in that, there's nothing to judge emotion, nothing to judge, nothing to investigate. So that's why this becomes effortless. Yeah. Make sense?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. So I'm sure, are you inspired to achieve that state? Okay, now just please be here, relax your body, mind. Okay. Now breathe in, inhale fully, and breathe out. Exhale all the stress. Once more, please inhale fully and exhale. Once more, please inhale fully and exhale. Let's release all the stress physically, mentally. And during this session, if you have learned anything, if you have got some refreshment in your namas understanding, you appreciate, rejoice. And especially you appreciate yourself. I'm so fortunate. Now I've got the time here to come, to participate in this conversation. I've done something right. Now I will do better. This mission, samsara, is nothing but it's a vicious cycle of suffering. So no matter it may take time, doesn't matter, this life, next life, other lifetimes, but my focus is towards enlightenment, Buddhahood. And for this now, we'll say some dedication prayers. Okay.
Please change 225.
Okay.
Chanchu Sancho. Bodhicitta prayer.
Okay.
Chanchu Sancho Rinpoche Madhyevanam Gegyorche May precious bodhicitta arise where it has not been, where it has never decreased, but grow higher and higher.
Then page 22, 27, just after that. I just say English, that's good.
Yes.
By the virtues stated in the treatise and myself, all beings, and all samsara and nirvana, and by the innate root of virtue, may I and all sentient beings quickly attain unsurpassed, perfect, complete, and precious enlightenment. May the teachings of the Lord of Dharma, who is omniscient, the master of interdependence, great Trikuma, Ratnashri, continue and increase
until the end of samsara, through hearing, studying, practicing, contemplation, and meditation.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So I think we'll still resume at 2 o'clock.
Oh, sure,
It's
yes,
okay?
yes.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so today we're gonna make ourselves kind of cozy in here for eating inside.
Rainy, if people wanna go outside,
Okay.
they can, things should be dry.
Okay,
There's
and
rags.
we put a lot of chairs and the tables we scooted in, so it is, and the front area is dry and this side. Okay, so we have that as well. So we just need a few minutes, but we're gonna set up for inside here.
Yeah,
Okay?
we'll get the food inside, and then if you guys wanna go out, you're more than welcome.
And for those in Zoom, yeah, we will return at 2 o'clock Pacific time. Okay, thank you. If the Zoom goes off, we will reopen it.
Recording stopped.
Nos da confianza.